if you're good at collaborating, you fall into line. You fall in line depending on what song you're working with. You fall into a role for that song you're doing, no matter what. Even if everyone can do everything, it's like, okay, cool, but for this song, like if I was playing with Herbie, which would be obviously crazy, I'd be like, I'm going to hold stuff down. Maybe I'll do some stuff. Like, he'll understand everything I'm doing. I'm not going to be doing anything he hasn't heard before. But if I'm holding something down that he can play over, then that could work as a collaboration. But then again, I've sort of like compressed myself or like just gone, okay, cool, I'm going to be the pad out keys guy for this song. Just so we make a song that works. I mean, I've seen piano duos where they're both just going crazy at the same time, and that works as a collaboration as well. So it's not that, but I guess naturally what I do is fall into a role in collaboration. Maybe that's why collaboration isn't as enjoyable for me, because I'm constantly like, well...
Conscious
because you do it well.
The room.
You want to bring yourself down to make sure it's about the song.
Yeah, it's not really like me being... It's not really like having a role and that other person has a role. It's more like... I think it's more interesting when when we're all on uneven ground, basically. And it's like, oh, what do we do? How do we step there? Like, that's more like exciting to me. It's like, I don't know what we're doing. Whereas if we're in a situation where, okay, I know this pretty well, let me handle this, and it makes sense for you to handle that because you do that. Yeah. That's cool, but again, I'm not really in music to fit in.
Excite you that way.
Do you have any advice on collaboration? Like, what would you say? So, like, for me, for example, I think one thing I learned about collaboration is like, it's what you're talking about. It's ego, and sometimes you have to let your ego. Like, it's about the song. It's about the music. It's about what does it need. And I think like anything, it's like you have to fill in the gaps of what I look at it like a pie chart. And like, if somebody's handling the 30% of this, you can't then kind of add the same 30%. It doesn't make any sense to the song. You got to add another 30 to the other side of the thing, and then it kind of fills it up to make the whole. Rather than approach and trying to do exactly what they're doing because it's already been fulfilled.
It depends what you're trying to do. Basically, are you collaborating for the feeling of connecting with someone in the studio? Because like so for example, there'll be some musicians that like to jam, like improvise, basically, for the sake of it. It's just not, oh, let's record this and put this on a CD somewhere. There's countless jam nights, like all over London, for example, where they'll just go in and play like jazz standards or whatever it is, or just jam and make something up on the spot. You're doing that for the connection of playing in the moment, and just that's where you're having fun. But in a collaboration where you're trying to make a song or whatever, I think it's like, what makes this song better? What improves the song? A lot of people go into collaboration just to collaborate or just to maybe have fun in the studio, but like they don't think about the outcome of the song is the only thing that matters. If they thought like that, then they'd rein it in or compromise more or like come out of themselves more when it's needed for the sake of the song, not for the sake of us. It's almost like working together for a higher power, sort of, for a bigger goal, sort of thing.
Your point about roles is a good advice for collabs, but another thing I think is you can sort of tell quite quickly if things aren't like going well, or at least like I've been in a couple of those days where it's like, oh, this is really slow, or that person's quite stubborn, and like I find it better on those days rather than to just give up and cave. It's sort of to more embrace what Alpha was just saying of like, let's just finish this day and this song. I'm now a method actor in this song rather than like, because you can make a song and they never have to come out. It's just good practice to basically be on this blind date with someone you don't find attractive, but you just have to like, you don't need to go home with them. You just need to pay the bill or something like that. Like let's not really, we're not going home together, but
escort service.
You can pay for my Uber or something. But yeah, like sometimes it's okay to just be like, okay, this person really doesn't like these 4 or 5 ideas in a row I've suggested, so I'm really just going to follow their lead and like we'll just let's see this idea out. And then like it's just literally a waveform that exists in it's not a failure.
It's not
it's a success to be in a room with a stranger, like
Spot on.